Hello everyone, my name is BuddyBear83, and welcome back to Password. In the last episode, things were finally starting to get a little weird and strange. We were helping Sal cook. Orlando was there to help us. It was an interesting experience. After that, Sal needed help looking for something, a word called hypnos. And apparently it's a word used in the gods of the Greek or something like that. I don't remember too much. And then we found Sal sleepwalking for some reason. And that's where we last left off. We're gonna have to ask Sal what that was about. In the meantime, let's get started. Despite running into Sal the night before, I fell asleep quickly and awoke the next morning feeling oddly refreshed. I rubbed my eyes and looked at the time. It was early enough that I could probably join Sal for his morning routine or Haas for morning exercise. I sent Sal a text message to see if he wanted company before getting ready. When I was dressed and had brushed my teeth, I checked my phone to see no response so far. Maybe he's still asleep. Oh well. Orlando? Are you okay? No sooner that I stepped out of my room, I almost ran right into Orlando mid-yawn. Oh, Orlando, you're up early.
You too, huh? Rough night?
I thought back, frowning. No, I don't think so, at least. Did you have a tough time sleeping or something?
No, not that. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I struggled to get comfortable. Even got up to get a glass of milk from the kitchen to see if that would help things along.
I'm guessing it didn't.
I wish. I've been awake for hours.
I had offered coffee, but,
Yeah, it's okay. But I'm sorta hungry. You heading down for breakfast already, or?
I was going to head over to the pool to see if Sal was already doing laps or something, but, I guess I could get some coffee first.
Well, alright, let's head on down. Beats wandering around by myself for sure. At least for a little while. That's odd.
We just stepped in the kitchen, with me leading the way before Orlando spoke again, his gaze affixated to something on the ground from where he was looking. What's odd? He gestured me to come closer, pointing at the oddity on the ground. In front of the freezer was a knife, stabbed into the ground before the door of the freezer. There wasn't a likelihood that someone had just dropped it here, and I watched as Orlando pulled it from where it was, wedging the door shut with little issue. Where do you reckon it came from?
Who knows? Think someone dropped it?
While Orlando was looking the knife over, I noticed something on the wall, a panel that I haven't realized was there before. Was this panel always here, Orlando?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the controller for the freezer. For the temperature and stuff, normally it's not a covering over.
I looked to Orlando as he put his hand on the door of the freezer and recoiling immediately.
Whoa, that's really cold.
Well, yeah, it's the freezer, isn't it?
Shouldn't be that cold. What's the panel say?
Let's see, it says negative 5F / negative 21 Celsius. Is that right? Orlando shook his head, completely putting the knife on the counter before coming over to check for himself.
Should be a little warmer than that, but maybe only a couple degrees at most. Wonder if it's malfunctioning?
Do you think everything inside is still okay?
Doesn't hurt to check. Worse, that just might be a bunch of frost, so the sooner we know, the better.
I watched as Orlando readied himself, knowing how cold the door was, as he grabbed it tight and pulled it open, gasping as he did so and running inside.
Sal?
What?
Hey, Sal! Come on, buddy! What are you doing sleeping in here?
I found myself heading inside to see what Orlando was on about, but I didn't quite expect what I saw next. What the fuck? Sal?
Have you been in here all night?
Sure enough, there he was, in the far corner of the freezer, sitting on the floor. He looked as though he were asleep, although Orlando was keeping his distance. Wow, it is cold in here, huh? Then I caught the sound of a whimper or choked sob from Orlando while I was still processing what was before me. Orlando stepped forward and placed a hand on Sal's bare chest, recoiling like what he'd done from the door.
Hey, Sal, you should really be wearing a shirt, huh?
I looked to the ground, and there it was, scarred in the middle of the room, where parts of frost had been torn from the floor. I edged closer to Sal, realization hitting me harder the closer I got, the frost starting to accumulate on his chest, around his nose.
Hey, Dave, tell him.
What?
That he should wake up, right?
Orlando was audibly sobbing between breaths, his voice crackling. Was Sal just sleeping? He sure looked like it, but everything pointed to something else, something that I wished to Orlando. Is he dead?
No!
I flinched as Orlando cried out, sputtering into a coughing fit with embrace flickering from the corner of his mouth. It lasted only a few coughs in before the floodgate opened, and he started bawling.
He can't be.
For starters, I need to get Orlando out before the tears froze to his face, and I needed another set of hands to get Sal out of there, assuming the worst.
Oh God. Oh my God, Orlando.
Once we were both out, Orlando collapsed onto the ground in a heap on his knees, not bothering to wipe the tears that fell from his face. Wait here. I braved the cold from a deep breath to see what I could make out from Sal's condition. Ahmed showed me once how to check someone's pulse, so I started there, but come on, please be there. Seconds rolled by as I tried his neck, then his arm, then his neck again, hoping to feel something, but no. Sal, wait. It was faint, but it was there. Sal was alive. Sal, hang in there, buddy. Let's get you somewhere warm. I ran out of the freezer and went straight to the panel, wondering if there was a way to make it warmer in the interior while I mustered some help. Sal was a big guy, and even with Orlando, I don't think we'd be able to easily move him. It was pointless, though. For whatever reason, the controls either seemed non-responsive or just didn't want to be working right now. With a growl, I gave up and turned to Orlando on the floor, who had composed himself enough with the confusion of my sudden reappearance. I have to go get help. Orlando, we need to warm up Sal back up before he dies.
Right on it.
I don't think I've seen him move so fast, heading back into the freezer while I ran towards the bedrooms to grab Dean, Tyson, or both to help. I almost charged down Tyson's door, and he was walking stupid. He followed me without complaint, Dean was much the same. The four of us were able to drag Sal out the freezer while Orlando basically acted as a living heater by sitting against his side, hands on Sal's chest to try and warm him back up.
What happened, anyway?
Good thing you got us. Good luck getting the porker or haircut to move that much. Huh, wait.
I was able to breathe. The worst of it was over, right?
We better call an ambulance, though, if he took his shirt off.
Hypothermia, right?
Right?
How bad is it?
Bad, pup. You saved me from it during the winter once. Otherwise, we would have ended in the hospital.
I fumbled in my pocket for my phone to call for an ambulance before realizing the most important thing. Wait, what's the address? With a sigh, Ty grabbed his phone from me and then bolted out of the room. Dean's hand on my shoulder, stopping me from following.
Let him run and get Roswell to give him the address. He'll be faster given you look ready to drop.
No sooner than I had said that, I fell into Dean, sighing out. It was one way to start the day, but I already felt ready for bed again. Sometime later, Ty came back to tell us that an ambulance was on the way. Roswell and Haas appeared around the time that the paramedics came and took Sal. There wasn't really much we could do from then on, so the rest of the day we milled about wondering if he was going to be alright. Dean did his best to keep everyone's morale up, but by dinner it was unanimous that we wanted to go back for one reason or another, mostly just so we could go see how Sal was holding up. Oh god, I don't like this music. We went to visit Sal the next day, staggering our arrival as to not annoy anyone, with all 6 of us arriving at once. Tyson and Dean arrived first, but didn't have much to say, the 2 of them lingering until Roswell and Orlando arrived. Roswell left when Haas showed up and then left after an hour. Every now and again, a doctor would come in, check in on Sal, the machines, and then leave after checking if we needed anything. Last time he came in, he handed something to Orlando before saying to the both of us that things weren't looking good for him and that it might be worth contacting his family. It was hard to hear, but what was there to say?
Dave?
Yeah?
What should we do?
There really wasn't anything we could do. Sal was in a coma as far as what I picked up from the nurses and doctors. The temperature drop was a little too severe, and he was exposed for too long. Mom had told me once about a patient she had that had lost their brain function and was being kept alive by machines. It matched up with what Sal looked like, but Mom's workplace was another one of those places I wasn't allowed to visit. I don't know, Orlando.
I feel horrible. Can we go somewhere else? Anywhere, just... I don't want to be here anymore.
Back to mine? We could. I trailed off. There wasn't really anything I could think of that would help, aside from fulfilling his wish to leave. With stumbled shoulders, we started walking to the car, with me following behind. A week later, Sal passed away. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Apparently, it was peaceful, and he wasn't in pain, but it destroyed Orlando. His bolterness self was gone, replaced with a hollow shell that sat in silence whenever he was in the room. Come the funeral, it looked as though he hadn't slept. He spoke to no one, and was the last to leave, wanting to remain behind even though I urged him to come home with me. A letter had found its way to my mailbox a couple days afterwards, neatly folded and sealed with wax. I turned it over in my hand and I saw Tyson walking down the street from his house. Hey.
Hey,
I waved the letter at him, forcing a smile, if only a weak one. Letter.
I see that. What does it say?
I opened it in front of him and read it aloud. Dave, I write to apologize my shortcomings and the part I played in the loss of your friend. Let's see. Despite my best efforts, he was too far gone for me to do much of anything. For what it's worth, he was a fighter until the end. No amount of money or apology can bring it back, but know that he's at least at rest. I tilted my head, glancing up at Ty, who was leaning on the fence.
There's something on the back, pup.
After Ty pointed at the letter, I flipped it over, seeing the message continue on. Oh, may he forever be a dreamer alongside the god of sleep. That was in the last episode, if I remember correctly. Wait. Dreamer. Oh, let me write this down. Signed, O.H. What? Who's that?
Great. Religious trash.
Ty made a grab for the letter, but I held it away, mumbling over what the last bit of it said. Sel had been plagued by the name, and now, for whatever reason, it was coming up again. Who is O.H.? Why? Did they know something more about this? Was my head just messing with me? Was something that could have just been a coincidence?
Dave, you're overthinking something again.
I flinched at Tyson's assessment and just shuffled closer so he could place a hand on my shoulder.
Come on, let's go for lunch. Dean's waiting for us. I'll let him know we're running late.
Where? Huh?
Yeah, I'll fill you in on that way. Just try and relax, alright? You could use the cheering up.
Okay. I didn't hear much from the others after that. Apparently Orlando had to move away to deal with the loss of Sel, and Haas moved away from him to keep him company. I told Roswell about the letter, and he promised he'd look into it for me, but I never heard from him again, as if he vanished off the trace of the planet. Ty and Dean, thoughts struck around, ended up moving in each other, which was strange at first, but it was nice having them around, even when they were at each other's throats. It wasn't the same, though. I felt powerless, sad that I couldn't save Sal by myself, that somehow he ended up in the freezer and basically died there alone. Talking to it one day at a time helped, but I would always wonder how it all happened, what went wrong. Oh my god, we got the bad ending. How? Bad end, Sal. Resuscitates. What does this mean? Yes? No. I wonder. Oh my god, it actually worked. Oh my god. I did not think that password was gonna work. I thought it was just... Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. All of a sudden, it went dark, as if someone had cut the lights. I reached out in the darkness, but before I could get a hand on anything to stabilize myself, a high-pitched whistle made me clamp my hands over my head. Ow! What? I froze in the dark, trying to process what I've seen. It almost seemed like a dream of how out of it field it was, but something about it seemed so real. If anything, it left me with more questions than not. How could something like this ever happen? But there it was, the vivid thought of Sal slumping in a corner, asleep somewhere cold. The room came back into focus, and I found myself on the back, staring at the ceiling. Despite being dizzy, I got to my feet, suddenly famished. Breakfast was the portionally apparently, but I wonder why I had a thought of Sal sleeping, and shirtless, no doubt. By the time we've all assembled into the dining room, Orlando went into the kitchen, only to bring us our breakfast. So is all this the same? Okay, I'm gonna cut forward to see if anything changes. No, not. So this is gonna take a while. Okay, I think this is where things change. Let's see what happens.
Hey, Dave, how's your day going?
Oh, alright, I guess. Why?
Oh, I just passed Sal on the stairs. He told me to look after you for a bit.
What?
Oh, I can give you some space if you want, but I was sort of looking to hang out with someone. Do I want to know what happened between you two?
I relayed what Sal and I had been up to, and what had happened right up to him leaving the dining room, minus the acts and the creepy dreams he had been having at least. There was no need to alarm Orlando about something neither Sal and I were completely certain about, after all.
Oh, brother.
What? Did I do something wrong?
Well, it's hard to say. Sal's hard to read for sure, but, I might go talk to him about it later.
Reckon he'll let you know what's wrong?
We're both covered in scales, so there's that pregnant angel I could work for, sure. I wouldn't worry too much. He's always been like that, though. A good night's sleep, and he'll be right as rain, I think.
Oh yeah, speaking of, he said he was taking sleeping medication for that.
Sleeping medication? That's the first I'm hearing about it. Hope he's not getting any creepy dreams or anything. I've heard stories.
I frowned, thinking what I've seen. It was a long shot, but I figured maybe Orlando would know something. I don't think it's from working too hard. The not sleeping thing, well, I mean...
Oh! Well, there goes my guess.
I mean, you're both covered in scales.
Okay.
Do you have trouble sleeping sometimes? Anything that might be similar to what's up with Sal? Orlando went to say something before looking thoughtfully, seemingly remembering something.
Now that you mention it, there could be that.
That?
So, a few nights ago, I woke up to Sal standing in my room, looking sort of confused. I thought he just wanted to bunk up given that I run extra warm, and what I've heard, he struggles with the cold. Funny thing, could have sworn that he was still asleep when I walked him back to his room.
How could he be sleeping if you walked him back to his room?
He could just be a sleepwalker. That said, I don't know how none of us had noticed it before.
Oh my... Okay, so in the last episode, Sal mentioned he was walking around but still asleep. And he was standing in front of Orlando's room. And now Orlando is saying the same thing. Oh my god. What is happening? Maybe it's the medication? He said he took it a couple nights ago. as well.
That's some side effect to be having. Maybe we should keep an eye on him just in case.
Might not hurt. I have a feeling that, well,
What, that he'll give you a visit in the middle of the night?
let's go with that. Yeah. I gulped, thinking back to the vision of Sal icy cold and motionless.
Well, alright. If it bothers you that much, I'll do my part to run interpretation if I notice him up and about. But let's get something to eat. I want to tell you that this boss I've been fighting.
Orlando and I talked about video games for a bit before continuing our conversation over the reheating of pizza.
I'm telling you, that boss is tough. I haven't quite figured out how to beat it on my Baoli Vagily run, but if I could build the combo meter up enough, I could get off that special move.
Have you tried using a potion?
Using a potion might work, but I have to rely on the passive skill to kick in so I don't die.
While we were pondering over Orlando's latest conquest, as far as gaming went, we were joined by the others who seemingly wanted their pizza and bailed without sticking around.
I don't know, I have to think of something. I've been stuck on it for a week now.
I struggled. It was a classic case of Orlando playing the same game for far too long, and he knew every intimate detail about it. It was more just a sounding board for ideas at this stage. I don't even know what game he was talking about half the time whenever this happened. But before we could go on another tangent, the door to the kitchen opened.
Hey. Sleep well?
Couldn't sleep. Couldn't get to sleep. Hopefully means I'll sleep well tonight. Just need to take the medication. Sal wandered over to get some water before Orlando shot me a curious look before returning to Sal.
What medication is it? Dave said you were on medication, but didn't say what.
Bear tranquilizers.
Excuse me, what?
What? Bear tranquilizers? Without any delay, Sal rummaged in his pocket and threw something in his mouth, chasing it quickly with water before heading over to the fridge to look for food.
But you're not a bear, though.
This was my reaction too. I'll be fine. It just takes off the edge.
You're not going to come to my room again tonight, are you?
What?
You know, like a few nights ago?
There was a visible confusion on Sal's face, but he didn't question it. Sal, are you a sleepwalker? Not that I know of. Why? I exchanged a look with Orlando to try and figure out what to do.
You really don't remember coming into my room?
No. I went to bed. That was it. What about... I caught that look Sal was giving me, the stern frown that didn't want me to talk about what he showed me.
Well, if it's not sleepwalking, maybe you're being possessed. Somnus? Mephrnus? Hypnosis? I think those are the gods of sleep, at least.
How do you know this, Orlando?
What? Yeah. I remember you had to fight 3 bosses at the same time in Grand God Gauntlet 3. They take control of your characters after inflicting them with the sleep status. Maybe we can get Roswell to see if he knows any exorcism sort of things.
Unneeded. Just... if it does happen, what should we do? Despite shrugging off the offer, I caught the faint hint of worry across Sal's face as he grabbed a slice of pizza from the fridge and bit into it while still cold.
Roswell is probably the one to ask if that's what's happening.
What about in your game?
Well, waking up your characters killed them, so I don't think that's a good idea. But they're still responsive to commands.
Oh my. What, like if you told them to attack, they'd attack still?
Sorta.
What do you mean, sorta?
There was some commands like attack that would make them fight someone randomly, but
Oh, that makes it so much better.
others like magic just wouldn't work. Same with items.
Well, great. What do... Well, great. What does work?
I sort of just went to the way of killing off my characters and just reviving them.
Oh my god. We stood in silence until I heard Sal grumbling, going back into the fridge for another slice of pizza. Well, if I'm sleepwalking, maybe just give me a command to go to bed. Would that work?
Never know. Worth a shot at least.
Sal yawned, stretching, and seemed like he was ready to fall asleep where he was standing, gawning at the slice of pizza. Orlando and I got this, Sal. You go sleep if you're doing something strange. We'll sort you out. Okay, thanks. Good night. When Sal was out of sight, Orlando turned to me suddenly focused.
He might be onto something. Maybe we need to tell him what to do and see what happens. If telling him to do stuff is the trick.
Orlando trailed off thoughtfully.
That's kind of scary, actually. Imagine if he was told to do something terrible and he just did it. It really would have been like he was possessed.
How bad could it be?
I don't know. I really want to know. It could be pretty bad depending. I don't know who we could ask about how sleepwalking works, but oh well. I'm probably ready to turn in after that. I can hear a storm rolling in, so it'll be nice to listen to in bed. At this rate, though, I might just fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick water break. With the thunder rolling in overhead, I figured it was best to settle in for the night. As I lay on my bed, listening to the thunder, my thoughts wandered. If Sal was going to be sleepwalking, Orlando said that he'd be running interception, but I got up to check in on him anyway. Sure enough, there he was, sluggishly wandering around in front of the door to his room. Oh my god, this is all new. Sal, shouldn't you be in bed? Huh, I guess you really are sleepwalking. I wandered over to Orlando's door and opened it, sticking my head inside. Hey, Orlando, you awake? Oh my god! Okay, I don't have to censor this.
Barely. Is Sal sleepwalking?
You tell me. I stepped back from the door to let Orlando see.
Oh, yeah, that's the look, alright. At least the same one from the other nights. Have you tried saying anything to him?
Only asked him if he should be in bed. Why?
Then let me try something. Hey, Sal, what's your name?
Sal's attitude shifted to Orlando, but he kept the same vacant expression. What about... Oh, Sal, who gave you the medication? Sal's expression came back to me, but still no reply.
Oh, what about a command? Hey, Sal, I could really go for some juice.
Sal turned to look at Orlando, but nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be more direct, like, hey, Sal, give Orlando a hug.
Wait, what?
Instead of Sal's attention turning to Orlando and just staring, he stumbled closer and put his arms around Orlando. Oh my god.
Oh.
Ah, look at them. Look at them blushing. It seemed as though Orlando gave him a brief squeeze before stepping away from Sal, whose hug was comparison was a lot less intense.
So direct commands, right? Hey, Sal, wake up!
For a moment, I assumed that Sal's request had worked given the jerky movement Sal made soon after, but he resumed standing there unresponsive soon after. Oh, I know. Hey, Sal, who told you to get out of bed?
No, it should be, Sal, tell me who told you to get out of bed.
Hypnos.
What? What?
Sal, tell me what Hypnos told you to do. Again, Sal's attention shifted to me, and he made a motion with his tongue. It seemed as though Sal wasn't going to answer at first, but Hypnos said. There were a few moments where Sal clicked his tongue, seemingly thinking something over before he replied. Hypnos said to repent. What?
What?
I took a step back from Sal, taking comfort next to Orlando, who seemed to be rattled by the admission.
Repent? Repent for what?
Should we really be asking that?
I mean, I guess, but it seems important. Or it would be important if it wasn't a joke. This better not be Sal. You're freaking me out.
I patted Orlando on the shoulder, and he nodded quickly, an apology for getting fired up. I thought about how I wanted to phrase my next line to Sal. Froward. Sal, tell me what you need to repent for. Sal shrugged, mouthing some words silently.
Why isn't he talking? He's mouthing words at least. He just can't read lips. Oh, actually, Sal, take us to where, Hypnos told you to.
But he didn't move, instead pointing to the door to his room nearby. This is messed up. Can I at least say that much?
Well, yeah, it is.
No, I mean, first I get the door in the vault doing something by typing in Dreamer. Now Sal's talking about the sleep of God, telling him to repent about who knows what.
I'm sorry, run that to me again?
Yeah, tried it as a password, then I guess, as I was talking, it sounded sort of silly, borderline crazy, especially voicing this directly to Orlando, knowing how it might react, but I had to get it off my chest. Well, I saw him asleep in the freezer, I think. It looked like somewhere cold.
Sounds like a nightmare. Sal's a crocodile, so not only is cold a problem, but heat regulation is irregular. Too long in there and it won't be good. Doesn't help that the door is iffy as to if it wants to open too. That said, if Sal was stuck in there, he'd probably be able to burst out no problem.
We both looked to Sal. He seemed to be struggling to stay standing, his arms dropping to his side, limp.
That said, if it happened while he was like this, maybe not. The medication seems to be messing with his strength. Too dangerous stuff for sure.
Well, what do we do?
Well, I don't really trust him going back to his room if there's apparently a god of sleeping giving him commands to do stuff.
You and me both. Should we swap rooms for him for the night, or?
Nah, I'll take him back to mine. I at least can pay off for him coming to my room for warmth in the morning and explain what happened. No telling what might have happened if he ended up in your bed and you woke up unexpectedly.
Are you sure about that?
Positive. I'll send him over when he wakes up if he has any questions about what happened. For now, maybe we should get some sleep.
Yeah, alright. Sleep well, Orlando. And thanks for I gestured to Sal, and Orlando took the crocodile's hand on his own, steering him towards the bedroom.
No problem. Gotta take care of our friends after all. Sal, sleep in my bed tonight.
With a sleepy nod, Sal stumbled into Orlando's room, bumping on the doorframe on his way past as he tried to remove his shirt.
Night, Dave. Sleep well.
With a gentle click, Orlando closed his bedroom door behind him, Sal safely in his cave. A wave of exhaustion washed over me, and I headed back to my room. As soon as I got back into my room, I sighed out, diving into my bed, exhausted. The longer I lay there, the more I noticed the faintest background noise, seemingly coming from everywhere in the room, like the walls themselves were breathing. I rolled off the bed and stood in the middle of the room, trying to pinpoint the location of the sound. Where is that coming from? Oh god, this is a new voice. Oof.
Hello. Hello.
We'll do something like that for now.
Hello.
The sudden greeting made me jump. It sounded garbled, almost like they were putting on a fake accent. Who's there?
It is
good that we finally get to talk.
Huh? Ooh, choice. Who are you? Where are you? Who are you?
Me? An ally of sorts.
I slapped my face, thinking I had fallen asleep.
the cameras are currently non-operational, but planting the microphones and speakers seem to be without issue.
Wait, what? You bugged our place? That's what I said. You bugged the room?
To keep things simple, let's say yes.
Immediately, I started to search the room for the bugs.
Pay attention. Please pay attention. I have come to warn you. Deliver 2 messages.
I stopped listening for what the voice had to say.
The first message is thus: you and your friends are in grave danger.
From who?
Truthfully, it is not that simple. The most I know is that it is someone inside, or at the very least nearby the mansion.
Oh, great. Come on, Dave, wake up.
Have I made you nervous? I did not mean to cause alarm.
After giving myself a few more slaps as a precaution, I was convinced I was going to leak myself.
Are you?
Are you quite alright?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just thoughtfully creeped out that my room is bugged by some guy telling me that I'm about to die.
For what it is worth, I am truly sorry.
Oh, it just cuts right there.
For what it is worth, I'm truly sorry. The second
No, hold on.
holding.
First of all, this is fucking insane. Dave, is that your first F-bomb? I think this is your first F-bomb. Oh my god. Second, why are you telling me? Third, what the fuck? The absurdity and my nerves were starting to get the better of me. That classic hyena snicker starting to punctuate how nervous I was getting over time.
Please understand, I do this only to warn you. I do not want to see people die. At first, I did not think there was any real danger until I saw you in the vault.
The vault?
I did not expect someone to get it to work. Honestly, it was never meant to function at all.
I rubbed my eyes, tiredness catching up with me. Yeah, well, it was just a hallucination or something. I don't know.
A hallucination that saved someone's life.
The comment hung in the air while I moved back over to the bed, closing my eyes and trying to get some sleep.
The likelihood of you believing me is nearly 0%. I can tell.
I just want to get some sleep. Go talk to someone else.
Unfortunately, there isn't that time. I need to relay these messages to you now before it happens again. After all, I know what you did.
And what did I do?
You saved a life, more than I could accomplish with all the knowledge I've accumulated over the years.
I didn't save anyone.
Oh, really? Then I suppose your fear of Sal wandering the mansion at night were just baseless. For I assure you, there are things that go bump in the night, and places no one can go that spell certain doom. Either way, I cannot send Benson without knowing what you saw.
Wait, Benson's in on this? Benson, he works for you?
He's my butler, of course, he does. Although you'll find him a lot less of an ally than I can be certainly.
I wondered just what Benson had been told or ordered to do, but it was becoming more likely that he was the one that installed the bugs in my room. Well, alright, but what do I call you then?
That is difficult to answer.
Not even a code name or anything? There was nothing but static for a while before the voice came through again.
Oz.
Like, what? Like, the Wizard of?
Is that acceptable?
Fine, whatever Oz it is. You had a second message, right?
Oh, yes, correct. The second message was the motive for you to stay. Understandably, having your life at risk may cause you to want to flee, but I assure you, this is a bad decision.
Give me one reason.
If you can make it through your time here alive, along with your friends, I can consider it a success. However, as it stands, the shadow of death lingers over at least one of your friends regardless.
It was sounded like this ally was suddenly a lot more miraculous than he was letting on. What if we leave? You're going to kill one of us?
No, this is not I wish to avoid. I cannot speak for who was beyond. This, however, is merely what I have discovered. As a sign of good faith, I can arrange for a Kofler to take you back home right now if you wish, or at the very least, a publicly available taxi if you do not feel safe.
Huh?
I respect that this has come out of nowhere, and asking you to trust a disembodied voice, claiming there is death in store for you and your own, is nearly insane. But please, trust in me.
I was in that strange state where I was tired, but awake enough for everything to start sinking in. What if seemed to be the only question sticking with me? What if we were all in danger? What if the only thing to save my friends was to stay? But what if this person on the other side of the microphone was lying? What if they're the reason I had that gut feeling and vision of my friend's demise? I had a choice to make, stay or leave. If I left, I could guarantee at least my own life and a trip to a therapist afterward. But if I stayed, who knows what could happen? It all came down to if I could trust Oz or not. If we leave, then we're just abandoning all of our friends. But if we stay, we could all die. And I'm like the only survivor. So it's 50-50. But we're going to be a good friend, and we're going to stay. Okay, I'll stay.
This brings much relief, friend.
But what am I meant to do now?
I would suggest sleeping. I'll see what I can find out for you. Reply it when I can confirm you're alone. It is best that, in case one of your friends is behind this.
What?
My interrogation on their plan goes unnoticed.
One of your friends is behind this? What? What is going on? Is it too late to leave? So what am I supposed to... So what? I'm supposed to doubt my friends?
In my interest of being rational, no. It would make no sense for you to put everything you trust in me anyway. You will need your friends to get through this.
And what if I need to contact you?
There should be no need. I promise that assuming we can talk again tomorrow night, you can ask me as many questions as you like, and you'll do my best to answer.
You'll do your best?
I do not know everything, and nor do I wish to give myself away.
Fine. I have my questions ready.
Okay, well, sleep well, friend.
You too, I guess. But the only thing that greeted me was silence, not even any background noise to say that the speaker was still broadcasting. Okay, back to trying to sleep, I guess. No sooner that I had laid my head on my pillow, the rain started to fall. Soon after that, I drifted off to sleep. Oh my god. What the fuck just happened? Usually I would end the video here, but since we ended day 7 early, we're gonna continue.